Franc Moody with Make You Smile, and I'm very pleased to say Ned and John joined me in the studio. Good afternoon, Franc Moody.
What's going on?
How are you doing? Can you see? I can't see anything now.
Just about.
I'm just using sense of smell to navigate these days.
We're recording all this to go up on YouTube afterwards, and that will make a lot of sense when you see it. How you guys doing? You all right?
Good, thank you. Very, very good indeed.
Been having a good weekend?
Absolutely.
Superb.
I'm wearing sunglasses right now. They're gonna have to, can't do this properly. Yeah, it sounds like you're having a good weekend. I heard like driving around in was it a Cadillac?
Yes, mate.
Yes.
Exactly. Yeah.
Which was,
Red Cadillac.
It's kind of
Doesn't
becoming
get any better than that.
Nice. Very nice. It's kind of becoming a recurring theme almost. We had two guys in, Frankie Stew and Harvey Gunn, last week, and they were talking about their video where they're driving around a convertible Mustang. So I'd like that, everyone who comes to the Reprezent Radio studio has to have some kind of...
I've actually been spending a lot of time in a Nissan Micra, which is slightly not quite the same thing. It's a beautiful car.
It's beautiful.
Shout out to Micras.
Shout out to the designers.
I love it.
How was festival season? That's what I want to ask you first and foremost. Because you've had a good run of shows, Lost Village, second year on the bounce. Love Box as well.
Yep.
It looks like it's been a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's been pretty good. I mean, we didn't do a massive amount of festivals on purpose, but the ones we did were just brilliant. We started the season off with the Great Escape on the beach, amazing show, and then what was after that? I always forget. We did Love Box. That was it.
Yes.
On a very hot afternoon in Gunnersbury Park, which was amazing.
Lost Village was great because it was,
I've
as I say,
been.
doing it, the second year in a row, and it being a real checkpoint for the gig, the show last year when we had a few people who sort of bumped into us basically, and then this year going back and we had a full crowd. Yeah. People singing along, loving it. It's like a sort of 12 months progress.
Yeah, that's a good point. I suppose it's very rare to get that almost like direct comparison and that checkpoint.
Yeah, exactly.
Totally.
No, it's a real moment. It's like shit. It's working.
Yeah.
You definitely sort of it's like a little benchmark, isn't it? Sort of the litmus test.
Yeah, exactly. Because we've been getting your music here on this show for I think about 12 months and just enjoyed every release that's come out and the way it's kind of progressed, and more elements I think of the Franc Moody sound has been revealed with each one.
Okay,
nice. How does it feel that kind of thinking back, because you've been putting out music for I think 2 and a bit years, was it?
Yeah,
it's
weird.
Yeah,
Like,
a couple of
almost
years,
can't remember when it first
the instrumental
started.
EP.
Yeah, that was the first batch of tunes.
The very beginning, which must have been over 2 years ago.
2016,
Yeah.
I think. Yeah,
and Dopamine was the beginning of last year, was it?
Yeah, I think so. I think
that's
so.
right.
I think it's right. Yeah,
crazy.
Do you ever get a chance really to reflect on sort of how things have kind of come along, or is it just all go?
It's pretty much all go.
It's pretty
isn't
all
it?
go. Yeah, there's been a few pinch yourself moments. Well, for me anyway.
Definitely.
Like a few things like it's happening. It's everything we've been working towards and planning and stuff. Actually seeing, as you say, like a gig like Lost Village, when you see it all come together, or a studio session working with someone we wanted to work with for ages or whatever.
Yeah,
moments.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm kind of thinking for anyone who's listening who haven't heard you guys before now, like how would you, in your own words, describe what Franc Moody is?
Well, okay. Do you know, we actually stewed over this for a lot before we kind of, when you're writing your sort of press release or whatever, and the kind of plot line.
Yeah.
And just all the, it's all so confusing, really. But I think the best place is just to see us live, because I think it makes a lot more sense. But the way we'd describe ourselves in words would be maybe a collective kind of funky, soulful, disco-y sort of electronica and non-electronica.
We're trying to create a party.
Yeah, it's
really,
sort of party vibe.
We're trying to put that into like coming from a live background, like putting on parties.
Yeah,
and coming from like gigs and like that was our trade. But bringing that into our records, bringing that kind of live energy. Yeah. Trying to put that across into a record, basically.
Yeah, it's really good to kind of hear you guys put that out, because we are in a world where dance music is big right now. Like, it's very not easy, because obviously it's a skill in itself, but there's people who are kind of getting laptops, getting software, giving it a go, and you guys have got that dance floor sensibility, but it is such a band experience, like having seen you guys on stage, and how I think there's 3 of the musicians that you play with at the moment.
That's
as well.
right, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
And an extra member joining us for our tour in October, which is very exciting.
Yeah. But I think that's when we started the project, we said that we wanted to bring our the kind of musician, our background of playing in bands and that live feel. I mean, that's really where we wanted to cut our teeth, and where we feel most comfortable is in the live forum. And so bringing on musicians that we know and have played with that could bring extra flavors and just that extra musicianship as well to it. So
bring that feel to it, the electronic sound.
Yeah, exactly.
Definitely. There's kind of like new new touches with the production and the instrumentation, but in a way it reminds me of disco and funk acts from the 70s and 80s, because like bands like Chic or Parliament, you'd hear it in clubs, but you'd go see them on stage and it'd be like 8 people, 9 people, all performing it live.
Yeah.
So that's the kind of feel.
I mean, those are the acts that we've grown up, studied and love.
It's that rabble of people on this. I mean, we actually went to see Parliament play fairly recently. Love
George
Supreme,
Clinton.
And it was this. You had
chaos.
It
was just
chaos.
madness on stage.
Didn't know where to look.
Just
Really, it was amazing.
Utter madness on stage.
Amazing.
Like stage full of people, like
just random people.
Yeah,
just getting loose. People from the catering coming on and stuff. You don't know what's going on. But it's that feel just of non-contrived, just raw fun without any of the kind of.
And we don't like to take ourselves too seriously.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, with lyrics and stuff like that.
Serious about having fun.
Exactly. Exactly. There we go.
Nice way to put it.
Beautiful tagline. I love it.
I thought that before we came in. Let's kind of jump around a bit, sort of from the beginnings to the present. Make You Smile is the latest single, came out I think 4 weeks ago now.
Yeah.
How did that tune come about? Talk us through like the development of that one.
I think we're
having a jam with the Rosetta, who played bass in our bands, and we're having a jam in the studio with her, and we just sort of came up with a riff really. And I guess it's quite inspired by a little bit of Gorillaz in there, maybe some of the later Gorillaz stuff, and a bit of like sort of Ennio Morricone, sort of Western style guitar,
spaghetti Western style.
Yeah,
that
exactly.
Feel. And then I guess it sort of grew out of that and adding loads of different elements, like it grew from those initial sort of bare bones of that jam into something a bit more fleshed out, and a million little bits added here and there, basically, in our craggy lo-fi way that we normally do it. So that's how.
I feel like every time I listen, there's kind of like a little touch from something, whether it's like a pad or a little key or like a little hit. There's like it's so layered, the music.
Right. It's quite dense.
Something I absolutely love.
Oh, okay.
Is that quite typical of how you guys would write then? The way you'd kind of jam out either between yourselves or with other musicians and build from there? Yeah,
it's usually just the two of us. We just come up, or one of us might have like a bass line or a lyric or a chord sequence or something which we think is cool, and just take it from there really, and just layer it up.
And very often it's like, we won't work on the tune for a week or something, and then suddenly, I mean, for example, the other day we were doing a tune, and it was the one we're going to release next, and it was all done apart from there was this tiny little gap, and John was just like put in a tiny little synth, it's just like a tiny like sprinkling of something just at the very end as an afterthought, but adds just a little bit.
It's just the magic, isn't it?
I don't think you ever quite finish a record, do you?
You always feel like you
get to a point where it's like that that's enough.
Exactly.
But like the finishing touches on stuff is always really fun. Like we always get the strings in. Like my mum and my sister play violin and cello, so that's really nice. Get them in for the last little bit and put the Hammond organ on.
Exactly.
All the BVs, like all the tiny little.
And then Dan, our drummer, will add a few some sort of sick little hat patterns and stuff like that.
Some live feel on it.
Yeah.
Studio heads tuned in, take notes.
Yeah.
This is how it's done right here. We're going to hear some more music from my guests this week. This is Franc Moody with Superstar Struck on Reprezent. Superstar Struck by Franc Moody. My guests right here on Reprezent Radio this week. I love that like chugging guitar line to the end.
Yeah, it's chuggy. That's good.
Chuggy.
Live, we actually double that up, don't we? So it really just hit that point home.
The thickness.
The chugging. Yeah.
I think I really wanted to play that one because I think for me, as I kind of alluded to before, that was the first one where it made me aware that this is more than kind of just like a dance floor project. It's like you guys are musicians first and foremost.
Yeah.
I feel.
Yeah.
And I think that translates to.
We want to write songs, you know.
Exactly that. Yeah, you can dance to it, and it's got that groove almost behind it.
Yeah.
But I've sadly not had the pleasure of seeing you guys live, but I kind of caught videos online, and I think I saw Juno 60.
Yep.
And I saw what is that SG?
Oh, is
that is?
I made it.
I was going to say I've never seen one like it before. It's like, but I saw these two things and I was like, yeah, okay, this is
cool.
proper.
Good, that's good. Well, I got like a shitty old ship.
Apologies for the swearing.
Yep, sorry.
Apologies for the swearing. We'll put some money in the jar, don't worry.
I got a craggy old SG Epiphone, and I just kind of stripped it of paint and then repainted it. Got some nice pickups and did a little few bits and bobs here and there, and dusted it up, and it sounds pretty cool, I think, now.
Yeah, man, absolutely.
Yeah. You should come along to the show in October.
Well, I will, because it's funny that you say that, because you guys are headlining Village Underground in London, October the 16th. Which I was just about to ask you about. How funny is that? Because has the live experience is sort of built from. Am I right in thinking the first date was it Bermondsey Social Club?
Yes.
14th of April 2017, because 14th of April is my birthday.
Okay.
So that's and I should have come. This is what actually I shouldn't have told you that. I didn't come, because that would have been pretty good. But yeah, so that's relatively not that long ago, and I would be under the impression that now it's kind of built just from you two to three other musicians, or has it always been like that?
Yeah. We've that was adamant from the word go. We have a full live band.
Yeah.
Much to our managers, to
just
get us.
Because we just wanted to do, we wanted to do it properly. We didn't want to cut any corners. We didn't want too much on track and all that sort of stuff. Just us with a USB
live experience.
Yeah, exactly. We just wanted the full thing.
Yeah. And you're taking a couple of musicians kind of out on the road in terms of people who are supporting you and playing with you on the shows.
I think it's mainly local supports actually when we're up north and down the south coast as well.
Yeah, exactly. Local ones,
which is quite nice. You get to meet a whole load of new bands. A lot of people we see on Instagram and stuff, in our world. So it'd be really nice to meet.
Yeah, it just kind of fit. It fit the same vibe. It's almost something that's kind of big in the world of folk music in a way, where like people would kind of travel about and link up with musicians who have the same sort of mindset.
Totally.
Nice.
That sort of kind of communal vibe, isn't it?
Yeah, we got to meet Bondax at Lost Village, which was great to meet those dudes, because we're big fans, firstly, and also they did an amazing remix of our tune Dance Moves.
And we're going to repay the favour very soon.
It's great. It's lovely to meet them.
Yeah, definitely.
Because I feel like collaboration has always been something that is central to whether it's the music you put out or stuff that comes out under your name. Like the track I've got lined up next is a Someone That You Love remix by Yvonne Dao, because it's just incredible the way you kind of like take your sound and kind of mix it in with someone else's. But yeah, you always seem to be like in the studio with someone, or we kind of spoke off mic about writing with people. Why is that so important to you? Does that come naturally?
I think we thrive off making music with people. You get different energies with different people.
Yeah, exactly.
And when you get a connection, which is good, it's an electric thing. It's amazing kind of moment, really. So it's I'd never want to just seclude us and just be, go into a cupboard for months.
Although that's kind of how we do our tunes.
Well, yeah.
I was going to say it works for some people.
Right.
I mean, that's kind of. It is good to get that mix, isn't it?
Definitely.
Like, that's the thing, the variety of just like working on our own stuff and then having someone else someone
can just
keep us inspire us and turn us on to new things as well. That's the other thing. We with this particular, also just the chance to do remixes of great musicians is a real honour.
The other thing about that Drew Van Dal tune is Olivia Nelson singing on that.
Yes.
And we've worked with Olivia. I think the track called Sugar has just come out.
Just come out on her latest project. Olivia on Reprezent Radio today. You can listen back on Mixcloud if you want to do that. Nice little plug. Is there anything kind of coming up that you're doing with people that you can tell us about? Or
we've been doing some cool stuff.
We did some work with Nile Rogers, which was pretty crazy.
Okay.
Which is pretty insane. About a month
We've
ago.
been talking for 15 minutes. And why don't we start with that?
Which is pretty nuts. And we just got sent to, I mean, it was like doubly amazing. We went to work at Abbey Road, which
Oh my God.
we'd never done, which was like the mecca of music, really. And
Great canteen.
Yeah, great canteen.
Nice.
Great
Shout
canteen.
out Abbey Road.
Yeah.
guys.
Yeah,
big up.
huge. That kind of spiced lamb thing.
Ooh.
Wow.
All yours for £5.50.
Yeah, exactly. Delicious. But they've got water cups that are conical, which means you can't place them down. So that's the one thing they need to improve. Shout out. Bit of criticism there for that canteen.
It can't be a 10 out of 10 perfect.
Yeah.
But, you know, working with Nile
Well,
Rogers,
Nile
I
Rogers is
assume
pretty
that
good.
bit
Yeah,
was
yeah.
all right.
Yeah, that was the side dish to the
Yeah.
canteen.
So is that kind of like coming out under your name, under his name, or does anyone know? Or
I don't think it would be under our. Actually, do you know what? I don't really know. There's
It's
chat
weird.
about some stuff going on his records
yeah.
next year,
Yeah.
which is incredibly exciting. One track with Ned singing.
But just to see him and see him play and work with him was
Work
just
with him.
pretty. Just pinch yourself the whole,
He is
the whole time.
incredibly inspiring.
Yeah, he really
musician.
is.
Yeah.
And that's like a wonderful cyclic moment where earlier on I was saying like, oh, I can hear and see bits of Chic in the way that
Yeah,
you
right.
go about writing your music.
Yeah,
and,
yeah.
and obviously he is kind of continuing that same sensibility
Yeah.
because he works with, you know, lots of young talent. I know Zach Abel, who's a friend of the show. Like,
Yeah.
collaborated with him a
He
couple of
was on
times.
those
and-
Yeah, he's collaborating, all the time, every day.
He's
Someone new in the studio.
ridiculously hard working.
Yeah.
He was just constantly like going off to do this, working with this person. He's now, I think, the creative director of Abbey Road, aside from a
Wow.
million other things.
Yeah.
He's just an incredibly inspiring and just brilliant person,
Yeah.
really. And to work with him as we did for like a week, really, in total, has
Yeah.
been pretty amazing, really.
Nice. Did he have the hitmaker with him?
He did.
Yeah.
I stole a couple of moments to take photos of my guitar.
For anyone who doesn't know, the hitmaker is Nile Rogers' Strat. It's like silver
Yeah,
and
it's
reflective
gold, yeah,
gold,
yeah.
and it's like
Yeah.
behind.
He just
Everything.
carries it around in a soft case on
Oh
his back
my
everywhere.
And there's only one.
There's
Oh
only
my
one in the
gosh.
world,
And he doesn't have a backup guitar at his gigs as well. So if he breaks his string, quickly
His poor guitar
restring.
tech has to deal with this. Him
Yeah.
just like leaving it
It's
on
crazy.
buses and like
crazy.
having to like take it apart to put it in the overhead luggage
Yeah.
on planes and stuff.
I think there's a photo
Poor
of our,
dude.
on our Instagram of it.
Oh yeah, there
them,
is.
so-
Yeah. With the hit maker versus
as
the
the-
ship maker.
yeah, exactly.
Do you know what? Both one of a kind guitars.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
exactly.
I feel like they can go head to head.
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
No, it's been really cool. And hopefully some more.
Yeah. Let's get into some music right now on Reprezent. This is Yvonne Dao, Someone That You Love, with my guests Franc Moody on the remix. So we were kind of talking earlier about it was your mother and your sister playing the strings, and this is kind of something that I was going to grill you on because there's been a video of them doing, I think, new recordings on the string section.
Right.
And I've seen, was it the Apollo 11 logo? And it was like something. Did you tweet that?
Oh, yeah,
And it
I
was
tweeted
it's
that.
coming
You tweeted
soon.
that?
And so those are the only clues that I
Ah.
have to think that something might be on the way.
Yes.
Maybe.
That's right.
There's something's brewing. We just literally tying up the last bits of our latest release at the moment, which should be out. I mean, we haven't got a date for it yet, but there's something.
I think
maybe we do have a date for it.
Yeah, it's a couple of weeks before the show, whenever that is.
Yes,
Oh, yeah.
So early, beginning of October, I think there
Yeah.
should be a new tune out called Night Flight. So
Fantastic.
so that's the exclusive there.
I love those
Yeah.
clues.
Yeah. So the
Violin,
Apollo
cello,
the
and
11.
Apollo 11.
Yeah.
sending my mum and sister into space.
Yeah. Exactly.
And because seeing a video of like strings being played, I have a feeling that there will be strings in the mix at some point on other Franc Moody tunes.
I think
but
it's fair to say that. Yeah.
I do wonder with that kind of extra level of acoustic instrumentation. Like, is the new stuff going to sound different? Is it going to be kind of a step forward or a step to the side, or
I don't know. It's I wouldn't say different necessarily. I love it. I love it. It's like it's fun. It makes me want to party. It makes me want to dance and just go out and have fun, which is a good thing, you know.
Yeah.
But it's great. We've got oboes, strings, all the
wow.
usual hot sauce, Hammond organs. What else we got in
we
there?
can't just skip past all the usual hot sauce.
yeah.
That is, I can just picture you guys, sunglasses on in the studio, being like, "Yeah, it's good, but We need some hot sauce.
Yeah.
That's
That's usually how it goes.
Actually, we
pretty much it.
Did
Without the
you
sunnies.
buy some the other day? Some new? hot
No, I
sauce?
need to get some more. Yeah.
Different bottles, different
We're trying to get
sounds.
sponsored by Tabasco, but
But they
not having any luck.
Yeah, no luck.
if you're listening, anyone who works at
Tabasco.
Tabasco, please send some our way.
But any other products are...
Hey, other hot sauces are available.
Yeah, exactly. That's
Yeah.
the line. Sorry.
I'm stuck thinking of hot sauce. Actually, no, I'll be honest. I'll be totally honest with you. I'm stuck thinking about a brown sauce that I had this morning, which doesn't taste like regular brown sauce. It doesn't taste like HP. Other brown sauce brands are available, but it's got like sultanas and like
nice.
tomatoes
Nice.
and honey in it.
Ooh.
And it's absolutely
that
delicious.
sounds
We'll
nice.
talk about this afterwards.
What's the
That
bottle
sounds
saying?
great.
Is that
I can't remember.
Yeah, it's got
but,
good ring
Off
to it.
brown sauce. Yeah.
off brown sauce.
Yeah.
Delicious. Delicious. That's the
Oh, that
sponsorship we're
sounds
going to
good.
get. Trust me.
Sounds good.
So new music on the way. Headline show Village Underground October the 16th, and other dates around the UK. I think around the same time.
Yep.
Yeah, it starts the 16th. Well,
And then
actually
Leeds.
12th of October in Leeds, and then 16th in London, Village Underground. 17th is in Manchester,
Deaf Institute.
18th in Bristol at the Exchange, 19th in Brighton at Patton's, and in Dublin on the 20th it's the
Can't remember.
something social. I can't remember.
Something
Oh,
social.
Something social.
Yeah.
I feel like, and I haven't been to all of those venues, but between Village Underground and Patton's, that's just excellent.
Yeah, we
selections
played
right there.
Yeah.
Patterns. It's one of our first ever live shows, actually,
Yeah.
wasn't it? Great Escape last year.
Oh yeah,
And it was amazing.
It was banging.
Such
Yeah,
a
it
cool
was
club.
banging.
Yeah.
Both venues, I think, that do the crossover between being intimate, but also that kind of like warehouse party space.
Yeah.
Very
It's a real,
well.
exactly.
Yeah.
It's a
Definitely.
real
And the
club,
lights
club
at Patton's,
environment.
like the sort of strip lights behind you. Is,
Yeah.
It's gonna go off.
Yes.
Nice one.
It's gonna be good.
Very exciting.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to that.
It just feels like such a good time almost in the Franc Moody camp at the moment. Because
Yeah,
like,
it feels like there's a bit of momentum there, and long may it continue.
Yeah,
Hopefully,
having a lot of fun, basically.
Yeah, having a lot of fun.
amazing. Well, thank you guys so much for coming in.
Thank you so much, Dan, for having
Thanks
us.
for having
Thank
us,
you.
man.
It's,
Yeah,
it's an
lovely to
absolute
meet you.
pleasure. Enjoy the rest of your weekend and all the best with the tour and the dates, and I'll see you at the London show.
Yes, mate.
I'll
Come
be,
on.
I'll be the one there with the hot sauce.
Yes,
Yes,
yes. Don't forget the drumstick.
With the extra sauce.
Extra sauce.
We're going to end on this one. This is Franc Moody, Dance Moves, right here on Represent.